This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you live from the New Orleans Investment Conference 2017 here in New Orleans. I have with me Mr. Peter Dasler from CanAlaska Uranium Ltd. It's a publicly traded company with two symbols, CVV on the TSX-V and CVVUF on the OTC markets in the U.S. Peter, welcome back to SNNLive.
Thanks to have us here. We're certainly enjoying the show.
Let's get started with an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Well, CanAlaska has been a prospect generator in the uranium business since 2004. We brought in partners from Japan, Korea, and currently we're in a very strong partnership with Cameco. We have a discovery that was announced early September, and we're waiting for results on that. So, project generator in the Athabasca. We've recently brought on some new nickel projects in the Thompson Nickel Belt, but we're doing what we do best in our own backyard.
Let's talk about the history behind the company.
Well, for the last 14 years, we've been totally involved in uranium exploration in the Athabasca Basin. The slowdown 3 or 4 years ago allowed us to get into other metals. We've been involved with De Beers over the last year in some diamond projects, and now we've got a very large land position in the Thompson Nickel Belt where we're looking at very high-grade deposits, and we're within 10 kilometers of the smelter. Cameco is one of the biggest uranium miners in the world. It's exploring our West MacArthur property, and just 6 weeks ago we announced they'd made a major discovery there. We're waiting for drill results on that, and they should come out over the next 30 days. We already have indications of 5 meters of 1.5% uranium on that, and I think that's going to bode us well for the next years to come. This is an exciting project in uranium, and I think the nickel project will be a company builder as well.
Well, we're talking about base metals. I mean, the market's been kind of, in the doldrums, so to speak. What makes you think it's a changing market?
We only have to look at the number of people in the world demanding resources. You can't be closed to that growth of population. You can't be closed to the requirements for electricity to feed that population. You can't be closed to the number of electric cars on the road. These all consume electricity, which more and more is being produced by clean energy sources, whether it's wind or whether it's solar. But the huge part of the mix there is nuclear. China, Asia are building nuclear power plants. They will become nuclear forces over the years far greater than the United States, and with cheap electricity we have a great standard of life. They're going to do that as well. So nuclear is very, very important for power. Nickel, very important for batteries. Nickel cobalt batteries, very important. In the Thompson Nickel Belt we have some of the world's largest nickel mines. About 10% of that ore is cobalt. So we're very excited to be in both energy metals. I think where we're at the moment with a discovery from Cameco puts us at the top of the group in the Athabasca, and I think over the next 6 months as we develop partnerships on these nickel projects, people will see what the value of project generation is. It doesn't cost us a lot of money to do the research, it takes us a lot of time, but we get to the stage where we easily bring in partners to help us finance those projects.
What differentiates CanAlaska from other exploration companies?
Well, I think it's our land position in the Athabasca. Over 1 million acres of highly prospective land. Partnerships over the last 5 years with either Cameco or Mitsubishi Corporation or Korea or KEPCO from Korea. A large number of companies have supported us, and we have the targets that are now showing results. It's those exploration targets where you can get your 10 times to 50 times growth.
What's the value catalyst in the company?
The value catalysts are the uranium projects, the discovery that happened last month. The next 6 months of drilling will give us a lot more information about that. I think you'll see tremendous growth as Cameco drills into this zone that they've discovered 10 kilometers away from the world's largest, richest uranium mine. West MacArthur is a project that we think is number one for us. But we're not running that project. Another operator is doing that, and we get carried for the next $12.5 million. While they're doing that, we'll build this nickel project for us in Thompson, and I think the shareholders will get a lot of value out of that.
What's your backup plan?
The backup plan is the other 30 or 40 projects that we've got in the pipeline. We don't believe they will be needed. I think we'll have the opportunity to spin out these existing projects and carry on with the company, and our shareholders will do very well out of that.
What's your background, Peter?
40 years in the exploration business. That's really what it is. You know, I live and breathe this. I understand that Canada is a huge storehouse of minerals. We have secure politics, we have great financing, we have secure government in there that assists us. You know, even we get cash back on a number of the projects, and we have a great workforce. So
Let's talk about the rest of the team that you have on board.
My senior exploration manager is Dr. Carl Scheeman. He found the first uranium deposit of high grade in the Athabasca, that's Cigar Lake. He was a geologist on that. He ran the exploration program for Arabia for 10 years, set up their geology department in the Athabasca. Ambassador Thomas Graham is the chairman of our board, the gentleman who did all the strategic arms deals with the Russians from 1970 to 1997. Just recently came out with a book, Seeing the Light, The Future of Nuclear Power in the World, a magnificent book. We realize that we need some political help as we go forward in the nuclear business. It's not just about economics, it's politics as well. Kathleen Kennedy Townsend is one of my directors on the board, very strong supporter of what we're doing in Washington. And then I've got Victor Fern, a senior Dene chief from the north of Saskatchewan, and our accounting is rounded out with Jean-Luc Roy, who was country manager for First Quantum a number of years ago and recently been in West Africa in gold. So we have a tight-knit team. I have a team of geophysicists that work for us and a team of geologists on contract.
Peter, let's get your website out there for more information.
It's CanAlaska.com, CanAlaska.com. You'll see all our videos, all our latest news, the news about Cameco drilling these targets, and our new nickel project.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Dasler, CanAlaska Uranium Ltd. Publicly traded company. I'm going to give you two symbols, CVV on the TSX-V and CVVUF in the U.S. on OTC markets. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the New Orleans Investment Conference 2017 right here in New Orleans. Peter, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
My pleasure.